Hey guys, what's going on? It's Max. Welcome to the video, and today we're going to talk about VID, and we're going to do a little analysis in the coin, and then we're going to move into the news related to Bitcoin, and we'll finish off with a little bit of the roadmap and what can we expect to happen next with the price of the coin, and whether I'm bullish or bearish on the coin at its current standpoint in terms of price. So let's not lose any more time and jump straight into the video. So let's go straight into VID. Now, as we can see on the Binance chart, we see that in beginning of March, there was actually a very bullish trend from March 1st to March 15, which actually sent the price up like crazy from approximately 0.5 here to 0.9. So very strong bullish pattern, which was then followed up by a little bit of correction and consolidation, and again then followed by a next bullish run to the $1.3. And so what I can see from this pattern is I see a very similar pattern occurring in the last month or so. So in March we saw that the coin went up and then had some correction. Similar pattern here: went up, correction, went up, corrections, and again we're seeing that pattern happen here again. So what we can take away from this is that we see that we have this similar candle pattern with some very bullish run, with then followed by some bearish corrections, and then again following by some bullish run. So we can take from this is that we need to try and position ourselves to follow the next bullish trend, and then wait into the correction to then for you to possibly add it into your portfolio. So that would be my recommendation, to start looking at this trend, because obviously this pattern is happening a lot, and we see that it's a very repetitive pattern. So based on that, we can then move into what can we expect to happen. And what I see is that we possibly see an inverse head and shoulder forming. Now this is again a good news, because it is a bullish pattern which we need to look into, and this is important to take into account, as we see that we have these inverse head and shoulders here happening here. And so this is a little sign again, that's a very bullish sign for us to get into the coin. Again, when we look at this chart, we can see that there's low MC and that there's lots of potential. Like I talked about, this similar pattern of very bullish followed by some corrections, we see it again here happening. So it might potentially be the time for you to hop on and add VID to your portfolio, because as we see this pattern occurring again, might be the perfect time for actually you to get into the trade yourself. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just trying to give you my best recommendation for you to get into the altcoin. Again, when we see we see, like I talked about, the similar trading pattern happening, we can then make prediction on the next expecting trading pattern to occur for the future. And this is the prediction which was made by someone here. And we can see that I think this prediction is quite accurate, because based on the previous behavior of how the altcoin was behaving in the last month or so, we can expect this similar pattern to occur. Now again, April is also known to be a very good month for altcoins overall, for the altcoin performance and crypto as a whole. So we can expect good things in bullish pattern to occur for the future. Again, we had some corrections yesterday, which took a bit of a hit for all the altcoins, but these corrections were followed again by some bullish momentum. So nothing to worry about. Again, each time we follow new all-time highs, we of course come up to some corrections because people are starting to securing some profits. So this leads us to what can we expect next, and what's important to look at before March. It looks like it broke out of the accumulation zone, and we can see this accumulation zone, which was actually quite similar for a lot of the time, and we finally seem to have broken away from that. And this is very good news, because that means we can expect the coin and the altcoin to actually perform much better in the upcoming month, because we've broke out of this finally accumulation zone. So I'm quite bullish on this, because this is a very good sign for the future of Bitcoin. Once we can see that that we've finally broken out of this accumulation zone, we can actually expect new highs to occur for the coin. And so this leads me to another chart analysis. What we see is like I talked this pattern. I made a triangle to show you, but like this would be you can see different entry points, aggressive, and then your stop loss of where you should put them when entering into the coin. These are again recommendation, but this is a good analysis for you to actually have a look into whether when to get into the position, when to actually put a stop loss, and the aggressive buy zone. Now the aggressive buy zones is standing at around 0.6, which at the time was in March 11. We've been through this very strong bullish momentum in April, but it's still applied in the sense of the stop loss. Always try to get into a position and secure that stop loss. So this is why I wanted to show you this graph for you to learn and understand the behavior that seems to be very repetitive based on, like I said here, which we see this very repetitive pattern. So now that we've taken this, let's talk about the recent news which have been happening with VIDT, and let's talk about what can we expect next. Now, it's a Dutch crypto, and so that's very important because, like they say, the Netherlands is known for tulips, canals, and coffee shop. But did you know, guys, that it's powerhouse of crypto startups? So actually, the Netherlands is actually has a lot of Bitcoin startups, including VIDT, which is very promising, and it's an altcoin which I have strong bullish momentum for. And I have strong belief in its performance in the future, and I'll tell you why again a little bit more. But here we can see that that the things to look in altcoin, and it's very true, is that the practical real-world use case outside of transfer and DeFi yield. And we'll explain why actually VIDT is very good in terms of usage, the team background, the docs and update, the adoption, what is the realistic TAM and potential, and finally the price relative to market to MC, supply, emission, and burn. And so based on that, I can explain what's been happening. And the great news, which is most recent for VIDT DataLink, is actually that they just got approved as an NFT by CoinGecko, and this is amazing because basically their NFT would work with DocuSign directly, and the objective is to actually provide NFTs for example, luxury goods such as watches, but also which is very innovative feature, because right now the features of NFT being used for art has very limited usage to it. And so this movement to shift it towards usable goods, such as luxury goods, such as watch certificates moved to NFTs, is actually very promising because they benefit from this first mover advantage. So this leads me to the final news, which is the roadmap for 2021. So let's talk about what's their little plan. Well, they've talked about the Procentec Gear Up, which is that the lockdown platform is almost ready to launch, as they're finalizing details with Procentec's team and the hardware supply, software development. So this is again very good news because these are big names, and it just showed that the company's goals one by one are being attained. And this is good because it shows that the company is very promising in every goal they set. So VIDT DataLink and Afghan registration project, they also are making progress with all the involved organization, including the Afghan government. But basically, what they're trying to get is they're trying to get it the right way in every step to convince the existing stakeholder and ensure the desired goal and efficiency. And so they're trying to do this in the correct manner, but they're just informing us that the project is still happening. And it's very good news again because they are being promising on their project. Again, the third news is the fact that they're trusted web with warrant proof. This is again another big one, being involved in the formation of guidelines and protocol for a more trustworthy internet. So this is again a very interesting project in terms of usability of the coin. We see that it's, unlike Bitcoin, it's not just a store, a medium of storage, but it's also has some sort of usability. And this is why I'm so bullish also on Bitcoin for the future. And it's very small, guys, for the moment. It's not trading on Kraken. It's not trading on Coinbase. So as we can see this coin growing, this is for me a coin which could 10x in the future. This is the one I was talking about, not the NFT stock certificate and luxury goods. Now they incorporated 25K companies using their platform and is one of the leading legal service providers in DNL in the Netherlands, and they will be the first Dutch organization to use NFT tech for stock certificate. And that's for me the biggest benefit they have, and the first mover advantage, which could strongly benefit them in terms of growth for the future, because it is very different and it's very unique. Finally, a little bit more, I'm going to skip some, but the last point I wanted to talk about is the fact that they work with such a big institution like IBM and Factory Lab Sensor Scale Up. It just shows how real the company is, because you can see that the process is working with AWS, SAP, Salesforce, and even IBM just shows how big the company is and how serious the company is, and it's a backed up project with serious people behind it, a team that's determined and everything. So the sensor data is also used by IBM Watson, so they have big clients and to detect the pattern, provide better insight. And so it just shows that it's backed up by very important companies. And so this is a low conclusion on this video, and very exciting stuff coming ahead for VIDT DataLink in 2021. I hope you guys found this video valuable and you actually got some insight from this. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment up your thought below if you enjoyed the video. And I'll make sure to catch you in the next one. Bye.